I left off last time talking about the Defund the Police slogan and movement, often associated with Black Lives Matter and emerging from the killing of largely African Americans by police forces across the United States, which came to a head in 2020. I want to pick up what I said by reacting to some of the comments you've sent me. Some of you worried that this slogan is dangerous politically. Well, it was a major slogan across our media for much of 2020, and it was clearly associated with the Democratic Party, and we know who won, or at least most of us do, who won the election. It did not destroy support for the Democratic Party or for the Black Lives Matter movement. Former President Obama was upset by the slogan, argued that it shouldn't have been used. I wanted to remind him and all of you that there were two other defunding slogans over recent years that were very effective for those who pushed them. For example, conservatives had a program called Defund the IRS. Their anger at taxes took the form of demanding that the IRS be cut back in terms of its funding, which it was by Republican majorities. Here's another one. Again, conservatives, mostly Republican, but some Democrats too, defund the government. That's right, the argument that somehow we would be better off if we give the government less money. It's the other side of not raising taxes. And that didn't cripple the Republican Party, didn't strike people as an impossible slogan, and it was quite effective. So defunding the police is not some aberration, some extremity, some unwise move. And let me drive the point home some more. If you talk to the people pushing defund the police, they don't mean dropping the money of the police to zero. They mean defunding as in reducing the allocations to cops. And why? Because the argument is it's not an effective way of dealing with social problems, including crime. So let me give you some statistical background to evaluate this. The statistics are clear. We have gone up and up and up for the last 30 years in the amount of money each year allocated to policing in the United States, across all 50 states. For part of that time, crime was going up, and for part of that time, crime was going down. There's no one-to-one relationship with the money going to cops and what is happening in the streets or in the criminal phase or aspects of our society. And here's another way to look at it. Let me give you some, I think, rather stunning numbers. In the most recent year for which we have statistics, the total amount of money spent on policing in the United States was $115 billion. 115. Let me compare over the same period how much money was given to the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. Ready? $11 billion. Policing, 115. Dealing with illness, disease, infections, 11. How many people were killed in the United States by murder, criminal murder? Under 20,000. How many people have died this year already from the disease? 300,000. What are we doing? What are we doing spending the amount of money we're spending on policing relative to the amount of money we're spending to deal with something much more dangerous to us, namely this pandemic? I could go on. EPA, it got $9 billion in the last full year of reporting, compared to policing that got 115. These are strange priorities. And where would the money go if it didn't go to the cops to the same extent? Well, I'm going to pick two examples of where the money might go. One is to a mental health counselor. There are a number of countries that have mental health specialists, and they go into difficult situations in households, in neighborhoods, where they can help with a mental health problem rather than asking the police to deal with a mental health problem. And if you want to think about that, here's a story from the Washington Post. It did a survey. 25% of police killings involve victims with mental health problems. Why not do what other societies have done, even some parts of the United States, to have mental health counseling teams bring them into a situation so it doesn't become a shoot-'em-up police situation? Finland has almost no problem and very low policing outlays. Why? They don't permit homelessness. They find housing for everybody. And that's what the money could go for. Instead of the police, mental health counselors. Instead of the police, a real homeless problem solver. Come on, we can do better, especially when we're spending so much, and especially when there's no relationship, really, between that and the so-called crime that the police are supposed to deal with.